Let's get it. What's up, y'all? Hello. Everybody in here? Show off controls. Yeah. Everybody in here right yet? Alright. Chat. Oh my god, I can't type. Big fat fingers. Yo, fat fingers here. Shout outs. Like this. So I was out there earlier today. It wasn't very eventful. It was pretty damn hot. Um, I was actually surprised that, well, I wasn't really surprised. I mean, I know we are the majority. We were the silent majority. We ain't very silent anymore. And I think that's part of the problem. We've been silent for too long. It's time to start fighting back. I know I am. I'm finna fight back. Because I'm through. They drew a line in the sand with this one. And I'm done with it. I'm done with these people. I'm done with it. I know I said I wasn't going to do nothing about politics no more. But here I go. Here I am. Why? Because it has gone too far. We just had a woman that was stabbed in the neck in a subway station. People sitting around, a bunch of beta males. It was obviously racially motivated because the man that stabbed her literally said, I got that white girl. I got that white girl. Quote unquote. Fact check me. I don't give a shit. But it's getting to that point where it's the last straw. Now you done killed Charlie Kirk, a 31-year-old young man with his whole future ahead of him. That man has accomplished so much. And now he's got a wife and a daughter that he ain't coming home just because someone didn't agree with his views. Just because someone believed the fake stream networks, MSNBC, CNN, Cook News Network, New York Grimes, and Washington Compost. We sick of it. But that's why he ain't coming home. And that poor child has to learn one day. And when she gets older, she gonna learn that that's the reason why. In the beautiful country of America, which used to be a beautiful country, ain't much beauty to it no more. It's sad. It's really sad what's going on. How much things have changed. You know, there used to be a time where we didn't, nobody gave a shit about politics like now. Like, the beauty of it when I was growing up, and ancient. I mean, I know I'm ancient to y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm an old man, right? 47. I'm about pushing 50. You know, but I'm a Gen Z. I'm sorry, I'm a Gen X. I'm definitely not Gen Z. I'm Gen X, man. But my teenage years and adolescence was in the '90s and '80s and '90s, early '90s, teenage years. Boy, those were the years. Those were the good times. Back when, before cell phones, before tablets, and the way you found everybody was you would go to the friend's house that had all the bikes sitting in front of it, and that's how we found each other, and that's how we hung out. We weren't kids with helmets and shit on. Our parents would tell us, like, get the hell out, go do something. We had video games too. We had Nintendo and Sega and stuff like that, but the parents would be like, get the hell out of this house. You know what I'm saying? Go out and do something. Come back when the street lights come on, or whatever. But nowadays, you see these kids that are just pampered, and they put helmets on them and put leashes on them, helicopter parents, and then wonder why these kids end up the way they are. All soft as cake, and not ready for real life events, not ready for any critical thinking, or hell, I don't even think they teach critical thinking in school no more. There's no way. I can tell just by some of the comment sections and some other videos about this topic I'm talking about right now. And I made some suggestions. And somebody made a video in the past kind of making fun of Charlie Kirk. And I said, look, I know it was in the past, but maybe it'd be wise now, since this happened, in lieu of this happening, that it might be a good idea to retract what you said or explain that it's a satire, because it could cause backlash and cause them to lose viewership and stuff like that, lose subscribers. And I like this guy because he does good stop motion animation, and it was just sound advice. But then you got the people in the comment like, "Oh, you're trying to silence people, you're trying to cancel people." I'm like, who said anything about canceling? No, I'm talking about critical thinking right now. There ain't none, because I wasn't silencing nobody or attempting to cancel nobody. I was just simply suggesting that it's in good taste, or it would be in bad taste not to clarify that, look, this was a video I made, just kind of hyperbolic and satire, and I meant no harm by it. And just kind of make videos, just kind of suggesting that, like saying, look, I feel bad for the family. This sudden, nobody deserves to have this happen to them, just no matter what their political beliefs are, right? And that was the suggestion. But I got a bunch of backlash talking about, oh, you trying to cancel it. I'm like, nobody said anything about canceling. So that's how you know there's no critical thinking. I said, that's how y'all think. You Generation Z and Zoomers and Generation X, whatever the hell y'all want to call yourselves. I don't care. We didn't care about that shit either. We didn't have names for all this crap like y'all do. We had names for things, you know, but we ain't worried that much about it. We didn't care about what your we wasn't at that age particularly preoccupied with politics. Nobody gave a shit whether somebody was Democrat, Republican, conservative. In fact, they changed the definition of conservative Hell, the left, the modern left. I said the modern left because it ain't nothing like what the left used to be. Because democracy was about the freedom of speech and all that stuff. It ain't about all that now. It's about sides of people. It's about anything that ain't white. And they got my mother so brainwashed that she's truly conservative at heart and has conservative like value. But she considers herself Democrat. And I'm like, Mom, I don't think you understand the nature of modern politics, how much things have changed, and what the left is actually supporting now. I mean, they're flat out openly supporting uh, domestic terrorism, openly supporting criminality, openly supporting violence. And if I tried to tell her like she likes to watch The View. She gets her information from The View, for God's sake. Oh my God, it's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. But she gets her information from The View, and I told her, I said, Mom, that is not a good source of information. But I said, if you went on The View yourself and told them that you were a conservative, even though you're a conservative Democrat, they would laugh in your face and call you racist because they changed the definition of what a conservative is. And she, I don't think, understands all that. Even though I explained it to her, she just one ear and out the other because she got TDS in her herself. Whether her reason was okay, she said she used to work. Well, she said what happened was when she was working for Otis Elevator, she had to do some business with Trump herself because obviously she works for an elevator company and she collected the assets and the money for the company. And she said that Trump backed out of some contracts and didn't pay them in full. Well, it's not illegal to back out of a contract. It's not illegal to file bankruptcy. And it would be hypocritical for her, which she did bring up. She said, "Oh, he filed bankruptcy so and so amount of time. So what? So did you." I said to her. I said, not only that, even if he didn't pay your company, that's within his, or pay him in full, that's within his rights. That's under the modern Democrat policies that allowed him to do what he did and get as rich as he did and back out of those contracts like that. He read the fine print in those policies. See, y'all don't understand. Trump's been into politics a lot longer than you think he has. He's been in and out of that spotlight for his whole life. A lot of people don't know that. Well, a lot of younger people don't know that. But again, I want to go back. But yeah, no. She's a conservative at heart, but she's a Democrat. And again, I said, if you tried to tell them that you're a conservative and you're a Democrat, they'll laugh in your face and call you racist. Why? Because they rewrote the definition of a conservative. All a conservative is someone that wants to hang on to and maintain the value of culture, white culture, and American culture. You get what I'm saying? But it's been rewritten. If anybody's familiar with the 1984, George Orwell's 1984, it talks about the thought police and brainwashing and stuff like that. And one quote that stuck out to me is he said, especially now, it really applies to now. He says, what's the best way to brainwash the masses? What's the best way to brainwash the masses? He said, change the words and the definitions. Let me give you an example of how that's happening right now. Look at the alphabet community, right? We already have words for all these things, right? I was growing up, you were either gay, bisexual, or lesbian, transgender, cross dresser, all that kind of stuff. But now they got all these different words like non binary. And again, it goes back to the changing the definitions of things. And that was written about in George Orwell's 1984. Um, Again, the best way to brainwash the masses is to change the language and to change the definitions. And that's exactly what's happening right now. That's why people are so confused, including my mother. Like I said, she said that thank you for the like, shout outs. Uh, um, I'm embarrassed by this. I hate admitting it, but she's a liberal Democrat, but she's an old school Democrat when democracy really was democracy. I tried explaining to her, talking about my mother, that modern democracy is completely different from the democracy that we grew up to or grew up with. And it's a shame, man. They changed that too. They changed the definition to that too, because now it's just socialism, communism, Marxism, and all these people are people that just want to control you and control everything you're doing, control everything you say. Literally, the thought police, straight out of George Orwell's 1984. The thought police. It's insane, but it's really happening. It's really happening. Anyway, I want to go back to Charlie Kirk, man. Rest in peace. I'm speechless. I really don't know what to say. I feel really bad for the child and his family and his wife. And that little girl has to grow up and find out that the reason her father was assassinated was because he was trying to bring the truth through reason and peace, strength through peace and reason to this young generation. And he got killed for it. He got killed by people that just simply disagree with him. It used to be, we disagree. So what? You're a Democrat. I'm a Republican. Okay, we used to be able to just still shake hands, walk out, we live together, whatever, blah, blah, blah. We would live with it. The shit's retarded nowadays, man. It's just retarded. And I hate it. Because it's like being in the Twilight Zone now. It really is. I did some time. I've been out. I got a record. I've been out of prison for about 14 years now. I went away for about 5 years. And when I went in, Obama was still president. But none of this was going on. None of this woke crap was a thing yet. And when I got out, okay, you know how, I'm sure you watch a lot of prison shows, right? In prison, there's a lot of unwritten rules, right? And you're expected to just know these things. And if you ain't got somebody guiding you or taking you under their wing and kind of showing you the ropes, you got to find out on your own the hard way. And when I got out, I realized that that's the world I'm in now. Even when I got out, it was like I got out into another penitentiary almost, just only on the streets. Again, it used to be a free country. This ain't no free country. This freedom that they talk about is an illusion. Because again, they got the thought police that'll come after you. You know, you got the cancel culture. Oh, I disagree with what you're saying, so I'm going to cancel you. I'm going to report you. Try to get in trouble. Then you got your Karens out there. I'm so glad they came up with that word because back in the day when I was younger, growing up, when it came to Karens, we didn't have a word for it. And the way things were back then was people automatically believed what the adults said over the children or the adolescents or the teenagers, in my case at the time. And so they would lie on you and all kinds of stuff. And there was no way to explain it. So that's why I love the word Karen because it's like you could just be like, hey, it was a Karen. And everybody be like, oh, okay, I understand. I get it. Let me tell you something. Ain't nobody exempt from the wrath of a Karen. It is not just a race thing. I know I'm getting off topic, but I'm just talking. Again, RIP to Charlie Kirk, to his family. I feel bad for the daughter and the wife. And the daughter has to grow up and learn that her father died in the name of trying to fight for truth and freedom of speech. Sad. It's really sad. It's a sad day. It's 9/11. It's an anniversary from the 9/11 attacks. Coincidence? I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but it's just the timing's odd. The fact that they even cut the guy yet, odd. Especially when there's images of the shooter on the roof. This is kind of odd. In some ways, I feel like it was an inside job. I feel like he was silenced. And it was just simply because of his association with Trump. So many people that were associated with Trump or has associated with Trump has had their lives completely ruined. Even me going out on a limb talking about this kind of stuff. I ain't no big guy yet. I'm not monetized. I don't have that big of a following. But I'll tell you one thing: they do shadow ban. The algorithms do manipulate your viewership based off of what you talk about. That's a fact. I've seen it. I've seen it in I've seen the algorithms in my analytics. One day I can say something do a video about something that's completely off topic, has nothing to do with politics at all. Views go right to the roof. But then when it comes to talking about serious things like this, it's like it's shadow banned somehow. It's filtered. It's silenced. It's the viewership is regressed somehow. I don't know if it's through algorithms or what, but there is an obvious. I can tell when I look at my analytics. Again, I'm not monetized, so I can't say I'm big enough to be demonetized. I'm just talking about being shadow banned, which is a totally different thing. It's when the algorithms puts you down at the bottom. And the way YouTube used to be is the newest stuff would be on the top. The newest uploads would be at the top. And then the the videos with the most likes and the most views would be at the top. Now it's all these corporate networks, right, that took over. And I've seen some like social networks that are outdoing the mainstream networks like 100 times over, millions more views. But they still put all the mainstream crap at the top. Like if you try to search a certain topic, they're going to put all the mainstream shit up there first. They're going to put New York Grimes, Washington Compost, Cook News Network, CNN, MSNBC. They're all going to be first. I'm going to say this too. The blood is on their hands. A lot of them are trying to walk back what they said about Charlie Kirk. It's too late. Y'all done went too far. Y'all done stoked the flame so bad. We ready to go to war. We ready to fight. We ready to knock fucking heads off. I know I am. And that's another thing. Rage bait, right? That's another new thing. Rage bait. It doesn't matter if the content is getting a lot of likes or not. It's just the viewership that matters. Look at that vegan teacher, for example. Everybody hates her. Who the hell could like her? Who the hell could relate to that vegan teacher? Nobody could. But yet, she got monetized. She's got viewership out the out the ad. And it's rage bait. That's all I think it is. Because there's no way you can tell me that woman is for real. Based off of some of the things she's talked about. Again, man. It's a moment of silence. Let's have a moment of silence for me, just for Charlie Kirk, man, and his family. You know, God rest his soul. He was a good man. He was almost a saint in his own right, and a lot of people uh, did hate him because of his beliefs and because he was a Christian. And Christianity is under attack. Catholicism is under attack. Judaism is under attack. The only thing that ain't under attack is Islam. And it's a shame. It's really a shame. So where do we go from here? I say it's time. It's time for people to step up. It's time for the silent majority to stop being silent. Well, obviously, I'm done with being silent. I was talking about not doing politics no more, but look where I'm at again. Look, here I am again. All because they've just gone way too far this time. Again, they've gone way too far. They stabbed that poor woman on the subway station. Ukrainian supermodel. And that was a sad video, man. All she could do was basically in terror, just curl up in a fetal position in terror and just die alone with people around her that offered no kind of help. Is that really where we're at now? We're all that cowardice now? I know I wouldn't be. I'd have grabbed that dude, knife or not. I don't care. I would have. I swear to God, I would have tried to. I would put him in the Alibaba, just like this. I'd have choked him out and held him and knocked him out until the police came. I'd have done something, and I would have helped her stop the bleeding. I'd have done something, but see, that's the problem. There ain't no real men no more. Almost, man. They're just these young men now are just they're cucks, man. They're beta. They're soft. I saw the video, man. They just he's walking by talking about, I got that white girl. I got that white girl. And while the blood's dripping off the knife, and they're just and the one white dude just moves out the way, and everybody just sat there and let the woman bleed out. You could take a jacket or a shirt and wrap it around your arm, somebody with a knife, and grab that shit and get it out of the damn. You know, you can use it as a shield, and then get up behind me and choke the hell out of him. I'd have had that guy. I'm telling you, I'd have done something if I was there. I may not have been able to save her because she, unfortunately, she died rather quickly and shamefully. It was sad. It was hard to watch. Just like the Charlie Kirk thing was hard to watch. That was very hard to watch. And so, this is where I draw the line in the sand. I'm done. I'm through with y'all. And with the left, period. And yeah, I don't agree with everything Trump is doing. Even though I'm a Trump supporter, I'm still going to be a Trump supporter regardless. I don't agree with everything he's doing. I don't agree with what he's doing in Israel. I don't agree with what he's doing in Ukraine, whatever. I don't agree with everything he does, but that's okay. But I will never be able to relate to the left, the far modern radical left, because that's what they are: radical, extremists, domestic terrorists, communists, Marxists, socialists. And all they want to do is control you and me and everybody else. That's all it's about: control. Well, man, I'm seeing that not a whole lot of people are sticking around. I appreciate the like. Um, I got to bounce in a second anyway, because I got to pick up the old lady. I just wanted to, just kind of get some things off my chest and talk about it. Um, Again, I feel so bad. I'll admit, man, I cried. I cried. I cried, man. Because Charlie Kirk, at his age, and especially for his age in this generation, was a good young man and did not deserve that just because of his association with Trump. The TDS is real. The fatigue is real. And when I say fatigue, I'm not just talking about race, although a lot of it has to do with race. A lot of it has to do with just being fatigued of the left in general. I'm done with it. I'm done with y'all. Don't even talk to me if you're on the left. I ain't got nothing for you. We ain't gonna be able to relate. Flat the fuck out. It used to be like, man, yeah, we disagree. Let's fight, and afterwards shake hands. We'll be cool. Not now. No, no, no. Ain't like that no more. There's a real live hate in this world nowadays. There's a real live evil in this world nowadays. And I say it's time. It's time to rise up. It's time for the silent majority to stop being silent. It's time. Anyway, y'all, I got to bounce. Thanks for some of the views. Thanks for the like, whoever that was. Must be one of my regulars. Let's see where it goes from here. I got to bounce out. Peace out. R.I.P. Charlie Kirk. Good night, guys. Good night.